Alright, as promised, I'm going to show you how to hook this up and test it now that you've rebuilt it. And I do have to apologize. The mainspring I had on here before was actually the old one and it was really weak. And so it was actually holding the points open. I took it apart, put the right one in, the new one, and it is now staying closed. So you'll see here, you can't even see them move, but they really are. So this is the way I want it set up for a magneto. I'm gonna have a magneto on there. I've got one here that's this one right here. It's a fairly newly rebuilt magneto, and it puts out 7.5 volts at 500 RPM, and that's AC because really these are just alternators. I'm sorry, AC alternators. And so I take the nut and the gear off. I put it in the chuck of my drill, and I spin it at 500 RPM. How do I know I spun it at 500 RPM? Well, because over here, my Briggs and Stratton that I'm also restoring, I've got a nice old tachometer manual. So it works really good. That's how I timed it. So I know exactly what it's putting out at 500, which I've talked to several people and they say that's more than enough juice, so I'm not going to worry about it. So now we're going to test this newly rebuilt Ignitor. Here's my low tension coil. Low tension, like I told you before, you do not want a high tension coil on this. These systems are not designed for high tension coils. They're not designed for these. That is a Model T buzz coil. That is for a spark plug type system, a high tension, high ignition system. You do not use these on your low tension John Deere setups. You just don't do it. It's just, you're asking for trouble and it's going to be all kinds of problems for you. This is a 6-volt battery. This is what I'm going to use for the test. You're supposed to use 12, but I don't have 12 right now, so we're going to use 6. And we should be just fine to see if we've got a good spark. If we have a spark at 6, 12 is going to even be better. So I'll hook up my low tension ignition now, and there are plenty of videos out there that show you how to do this. It's not hard to do. It's really quite easy. There's not a right or wrong way to set it up as far as polarity. So we're going to start out with our spark wire. We'll just call it a spark wire. See if I can put this in while I'm doing the video. I think I can. We'll put that in here. That's in there, good. All right, we'll put that on one side, low tension coil. We'll put our ground right here. And the other side of it, we'll hook up to negative. Make sure we got a good connection. And then we're going to do the other side of the coil to the positive side of our battery. And you'll see here, we got spark. And that's a good thing, because remember, these points are closed. It's a magneto system that I'm testing with a battery right now. So you are going to be drawing voltage when you touch this because these points are closed. It's the way this is set up from John Deere back in the 1920s, somewhere around there. So I'm going to go ahead and hook this up now, right here, and we're going to see if we got spark. Look at that. That's 6 volts. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And that's what you want to see. So that's it all day long. And I'm going to disconnect this now. It's not going to get, the coil's not going to get warm with 6 volts, but when you start getting up there in 12 volts, you know, 12 volts or higher, which I don't recommend higher. I actually put one of my batteries from my drill, which is a 19.2, on the system to test it. And so I tested it right here against these two, positive and negative. And I'll tell you what, it was a nice bright spark for about 3 times. About 3 times like this on the system was great. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't move the points. This is on my old points. It actually welded them shut. So word to the wise, 6 volts, 12 volts max, and you should be good. High points being to remember, your mica's got to be the same on both sides to keep it true. And they say in the manual too that if these points are really far off, you can actually, once you get your distance set up with these mica washers, you can actually put it inside of a vise and tighten it down a little bit to kind of squish them together. And it works probably pretty good too. So here we got a good John Deere Igniter ready for my engine that's going to right now at the machine shop. And when it gets back, we're excited to try it. And I hope to do a video later to show you that setup. Thanks for watching, and any comments, put them down below. Thank you.